We were talking about how architects and real estate developers have changed over time in terms of colors, paints and construction chemicals, but we would also want to know how smaller companies in India in this particular sector of paints and construction chemicals meet with the varied demands of large real estate developers and projects. Mr. Siddarth Somarajan, my obvious question would be about the kind of USPs that Threesons have in terms of your competition in the market, and how do you meet the varied demands of various large projects?
Yes, okay, so we are a much more smaller company as compared to the larger players in this market. Now, but we do still cope with them through our own mechanisms. Now, to begin off, I think, as I had told you earlier, that we are a family-run business, and this unit was set up in the year 1991.
Okay.
And although we have been in business since 1980, so we have been in the market for close to 4 decades, and we have the market industry relevant experience necessary to handle any kinds of requirements.
Okay.
So that's one of the things. Second of all, unlike a lot of the larger companies or any of the other companies, we have an in-house trained application team. So as I had told you earlier, few of the major issues faced by these real estate developers and reasons why the BKC is leaking could probably be because of the lack of expertise of the applicators. So here we are a single point of contact, okay, for all your solutions required when it comes to construction care and painting. So you will not be required to deal with your painting contractor or anybody else, and of course,
I was about to refer to that, Mr. Siddarth Somarajan, because many of the developers also say that is because most of these construction companies subcontract it to smaller companies.
Exactly.
Over whom they have no control on quality.
Yes.
How much the concrete they make, how much cement they make, no one has got a clue.
And you cannot control it.
You can't control it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that is
in terms of solutions in that situation, how would you fare?
As I told you, we have our in-house trained application team.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Along with able set of engineers to supervise the project, take control of every single aspect of it.
Okay.
So right from tendering to site visits, regular supervision and execution, and up to the level of the handover and customer satisfaction, we are right through with you the process. We are a single point of contact for the purchase and the application of it all. Okay. So we are wholly and completely responsible for it all, and we provide a comprehensive warranty on all our products and all our services. It can be for waterproofing, painting, epoxy floorings, protective coating, whatever it may be. So that is one way we are charting it out.
Okay.
Also, since we are your only point of contact and we ourselves handle our application, we are also much more competitively priced compared to any other service provider in the market. So this is why you would have to come to us. And another reason would of course be we specialize in certain set of products, okay, which not a lot of companies are doing, okay, especially when it comes to epoxy related coatings and epoxy related solutions. And I think it's fair to say we are one of the successful manufacturers of all kinds of epoxy coatings in Bangalore.
It rings a bell because developers often say that SME players in almost all the accessories industry, right from elevators, paints to tiles, everyone, they have two major advantages which they offer to architects, and that would be, one thing is about customization and second thing is about the price advantage.
Of course.
Now, I've heard this from other places, other people, but I'm surprised that even in paints and construction chemicals,
of course,
it's almost the same.
Now, certain people have very specific requirements even when it comes to paints, and we can cater to it even through smaller batches or whatever size, like.
What would be those specific demands be?
That we have faced over the years? Oh, it's varied. Now, recently we had a very famous real estate firm approach us to refurbish a small particular floor, okay, which was tiled with Atangudi tiles. the traditional Athangudi patterned tiles. So
This was in Kerala?
no, this was in Bangalore.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So what happened is they they particularly purchased this from some small business in a rural area, and it was chalking off, and they wanted to they wanted a solution for it. So they had tried a lot of other companies, and then when they had come to us, we offered to prepare the surface and give them a clear epoxy coating to strengthen and protect the surface.
This was a bungalow, or was it a whole building?
No, this was a person's house.
It was possibly a tarwada or something?
No, it wasn't a tarwad, or it was not a Nalagat weed or anything.
Traditional.
Yes, it was. I can say it was a good fusion of a good modern as well as a traditional kind of architecture.
Oh.
It was very pleasing to the eyes, and it was
Which place in Bangalore?
in Jayanagar.
Jayanagar.
Yes.
Oh, I see.
It was absolutely lovely, the place, and even the client was extremely happy with the solution. So we can cater to such kind of demands as well, no matter if it's small or big.
Because in Bangalore we had once met a architect who had transferred a complete Taravada from Kerala brick by brick and set it up again here. I think that's at Banarghatta Road.
Wow, that is.
It's quite an amazing thing.
It is, in fact, and they're so beautiful and lovely to see.
Exceedingly beautiful. Wow,
Yeah.
that house is really beautiful. I guess he's the architect who has done houses for Kamalas and those kind of things.
Okay.
He's quite popular in the circle, but then he has all these strange passions. Okay, sir. Now, when it comes to government regulations in terms of paints and construction chemicals, every day when you deal with situations, you might come across situations where you might say, tweaking a little policy would benefit all the
Of course.
players in the market.
Of course.
All the stakeholders, the end user, the developer, the manufacturer, everyone. What would the changes that you would expect either in central government regulations or state government regulations or panchayat or municipality regulations, what would they be?
Well, first of all, I think there have been changes which have been coming and is happening and ongoing as well. I think it's a start and there's still a lot to be done. Now, a simple example would be the garment e-marketplace. It's an absolute boon for a company like us to be able to supply to any governmental agency pan-India, right? And being an MSME gives us a lot of benefits that way. Okay, so one thing where I feel the government could do something is give a larger allocation to the MSME sectors. Yeah, in terms of volumes as well as preferences.
So what kind of help do you want, or what kind of policy changes would you expect in that?
Now you see,
in addition to the tax holidays that they would obviously give.
And now where I was going with what I was trying to tell you is, with the garment e-marketplace, for example, being an MSME, you have a particular set of allocation when it comes to if you are L1, L2, etc., where you have a preference over a foreign player.
Okay.
Okay. I think that could be the size or volume or preference could be increased. So that would help. That is one thing. Second thing, few of the challenges that we face a lot, that we have faced and are still facing, are because of supply chain. Okay, and few of the products that we require.
Even before the COVID lockdown?
Sorry?
Even before the COVID lockdown?
No, it wasn't so bad before the COVID lockdown. It got really bad through the lockdowns and through the
Post also.
Yes, exactly, and through shortage of containers, lowered imports of certain products, extremely high prices, unavailability of certain raw materials.
Correct.
And certain quite a few raw materials in our paint and construction chemical industry also overlaps with a lot of other industries like pharmaceuticals and agro and nutrition, etc. So certain key raw materials like titanium dioxide and styrene and a lot of other products, if they could do something about the supply chain, like how the government did something about the metals, and if they could do something about the metal oxides and something about these kind of key products for every industry, because these products are used across industries.
Absolutely.
It would help us a lot. That would solve a lot of things, because there have been instances where I've had to pay money in advance and rather wait for an allocation of products. not the particular products that I mentioned, certain products for my epoxy market, but that is the current situation of things. So
And you think things will improve in the near future?
well, we are
In terms of-
optimistic. So as of now, certain markets are still functioning the same way. Example, the amines market are still very volatile. We have seen prices go off the roof, unheard of prices like 5x, 6x price increase in raw materials. But unfortunately, we have not been able to translate that into the end product prices. So we have had to vary our strategies, cut down our manufacturing. We are unable to explore all sectors sufficiently enough.
Okay.
So that has been a major challenge. So if the government could do something about supply chain, about certain products like that, which has been extremely volatile, it would be very helpful. So well, apart from that, I also feel like there is a huge trouble in credit flow in the market.
Okay.
And of course, the ECLGS program was definitely good through the pandemic for all MSMEs, but it is still, I think it is not sufficient yet, because credit flow is still a little hard. And the fact of the matter is, all of us MSMEs have tightened our belts through the pandemic. So that's another thing. And in our particular market, paints and construction chemicals, the GST rate stands at 18%. Well, you see, in today's world, construction chemicals are rather essential. Failing which you're going to have poor infrastructure, let it be public or private. Okay, so a lot of people hesitate when they know they have to pay 18% tax. Even paints, like you build a small house or you purchased a house or an apartment and you want to paint it, and when you're going to buy your paint, you're paying 18% tax, which is quite steep, I feel.
Absolutely.
As compared to
Absolutely.
a lot of the other sectors. So these are,
I guess in the US the GST rate is about 8.5%.
well, it
Across
would be
the
great.
board, there is no slabs in all that.
This would make things very inclusive if they were able to reduce the tax slabs.
They'll increase compliance also.
Exactly.
That's the most important aspect today. Now we observe that.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
So these are the main things I feel the government could do to improve our situation.
Last question, Siddarth Somarajan. That is to do with your future plans. Now, to dovetail that with another issue is that many reports around the world, not just in India, have said that there is going to be a boom in the real estate and the urban infrastructure market by 2023. That could be considered as mid and long term also. How are companies like yours poised for that growth? What are your future plans?
That's a very interesting question. Now, you see, recently Coatings World put out an interesting statistic of how the coatings industry is poised to cross the $90 billion mark by 2026.
I see.
Yes, and we are growing at a little over 6% CAGR right now. So it is a lucrative market, and that's why you are seeing large players like JSW and Grasim Industries enter the coatings market right now.
Okay.
So this is going to change the entire dynamic in the Indian market, at least. Okay, and there is no doubt that the real estate market is going to have a boom in the near future. But it is definitely going to transit to us as well, because it goes hand in hand.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the good thing, apart from this, the good thing is that we are not restricted to the real estate market. We are a manufacturer of coatings.
Absolutely.
We refer to
The
it as,
second largest market must be automobiles, or?
I think it is fair to say it is automobile when it comes to paint consumption.
Yes.
Yes, and we do function a little in the automotive industry as well.
And in chemicals, what is the other industry? What other sectors do you serve?
As in my trading division?
Yeah.
Oh, in the trading division, we cater to a lot of interesting industries like rubber, tire, tube, pharmaceuticals, electronics, and there's a variety of industries. Paints, coatings, and there is heavy engineering.
Okay.
Yes, it's a variety of industries.